trauma generally has the impact of burdening these very vulnerable parts of us that before they were hurt were these playful, lovely, excited, innocent inner children. And then they're the ones who get hurt the most by the trauma. And then once they get hurt, we don't want to be around them anymore. And we don't realize that we wind up exiling these parts of us that have the most creativity and playfulness and desire for intimacy. We wind up locking them up in inner basements or abysses or caves and thinking we're just moving on from the trauma. We're just moving on from the memories and sensations and beliefs that came from the trauma. And so most of us have lots of what we call exiles. And that, I think you would call the shadow, or that we're not even aware of most of the time, but still has an underground kind of influence over a lot of our decisions, the way we see the world, a lot of our beliefs about what's safe and what's not safe. And I'm not sure that's what you were asking about, but that's the way we conceptualize the unconscious in IFS. And so some of the exiles are these very vulnerable inner children-like parts. But then there are also parts that both our culture and our families find unacceptable. And so those often are protectors, like it could be anger in somebody's family that isn't ever allowed. And so the angry part also becomes an exile. And so the more of these exiles you have, the more vacant you are, as you're saying, the less presence you have, the less access you have to what we call self. And the more you're not even sure why you wind up doing things, but you're just doing them. And so a lot of the work, and we share this aspect of what the impact of trauma, a lot of the work is going to those exiled parts and bringing them back home so that they aren't disconnected and we have access to their qualities that we didn't have before. And you talk a lot about the impact of trauma disconnecting. You know, we started out pretty well connected in there, and now, and connectedness is a big concept in IFS. So it's reconnecting with all of these parts that the trauma made us afraid of, or just disdainful of.